So it's been about 1 year to the day that my wife picked up this 2020 Specialized Vado. The short story behind why we got this bike is that she had gotten back into road riding, and we were doing a lot of rides on the road, but she really wanted to be able to push a little farther. So about 1 year ago in 2 weeks, I was doing blood, sweat, and gears in Valley Cruces, North Carolina, and during the ride, I was passed by someone on a Vado going much faster than me up one of the big climbs. When I got back to the pavilion, I told my wife, "You have got to get one of these things. You will kill all of us on the climbs." 2 weeks later, Boone Bike in Boone, North Carolina had ordered her one exactly to her size, and she has burned up the roads with it since. It transformed the way we ride together. She is now the faster rider all the time, wherever we are. And it has really changed the way we ride. It is really fantastic. And it has been fantastic for the last year or so for her. I've got it set up right now to where I can ride it. We can switch back and forth pretty quickly. Luckily, we're about the same size as far as height, and I've not spent a lot of time on it. But last week, I was riding that monster over there. In the back, you'll see it, Orbea cyclocross bike on some intermediate mountain bike trails. By the way, people, don't do that. It's not a good idea. And went end over end, landed on my side, immediately jumped up, swore that I was fine, kept on going about my day. 2 days later, I jumped on the mountain bike to go show that trail who was boss. Mountain bike's also back there. Different part of the trail, same thing, landed on the same side. Essentially, I ended up with kind of a bruised hip, some things not feeling right, and had been off the bike for a few days with the exception of a Zwift race. Also not a good idea when you have a hip issue. So I decided to take her bike out and just cruise around the lake. Use all of the great, glorious pedal assist that makes the climbs relatively easy. How easy? Pretty darn easy. I'm at the bottom of the Clark's Cove climb, which will hit sections of 15% grade. 15% grade, not exactly easy on a regular road bike, but on this Vado, it's a dream. I am essentially coasting up this climb. One-handed, talking, no problem breathing. Now it gets particularly steep right here, so I may have to downshift a little bit. But on my regular road bike, yeah, this is a real slog. The great thing about the Vado, power delivery is very smooth, and you don't have to work that hard. Brilliant. After a year, we put quite a few miles on this bike. We've really enjoyed it. And look, I started out with 85% battery. I rode about 30 miles around the lake and used a lot of assist when I needed it. 3 different levels. Makes it easier to kind of tailor exactly the type of workout you want to get. Look, the bike is 60 pounds. If you have no pedal assist on, it's heavy. But it's a fantastic bike. Couldn't recommend it highly enough. So you've got money floating around, you've got someone who wants to ride with you and maybe carry the same speed as you or more. I definitely recommend one. This is a class 3, so it tops out at 28 miles per hour. Doesn't mean it won't go any faster than that, but you've got to have the legs to push it any faster than that. But basically 0 to 28, you're getting a free 250 watts. Battery life is good. Even at 85%, when I left, I still arrived back to the house after 30 miles with about 25% battery left. And I did have it. My goal was to not work hard today, and I didn't work hard. It was beautiful. We've taken it to the beach, we've taken it around town, we've taken it to the mountains, and 2 weeks ago she did the same blood and sweat and gears, or at least rode the course. With COVID-19 it was shut down, and she basically stomped us anytime she wanted. We also have a Como, a Specialized Como that we can swap batteries out, and we did do a battery replacement midway through the ride, but she probably didn't need it. You know, she weighs a whole lot less than me, and at 120, 125 pounds on this bike, she could easily do 50 miles in the mountains with very little effort. Thanks, Specialized. I know what you're thinking. You made a video, why is the bike so dirty? Well, it's dirty because about 0.5 miles from the house today, I ran through a chunk of mud on my normal path that drenched this bike. I actually stopped in a nearby neighborhood, asked someone to borrow their water hose, and cleaned it off as best I could, and then rode the rest of the ride. I better clean it up before my wife gets back and sees what a mess I made of it.